Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Figure Showcase, we're going to take a look at all of my customs of the Blackpool Combat Club. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I have all of my customs of the Blackpool Combat Club, and now that I look, not a single one of these are an official figure. I wasn't a big fan of the Moxleys. I think they're too big, and I like the head scans, I like pieces of them, I like the look, I just don't like the scale. So I've got a custom Moxley. We have not gotten a custom Claudio, or an official Claudio is what I meant to say. We are not getting a Regal figure because he left the company. We have not gotten Wheeler Yuta, and I think he's still quite a ways down the line. And then the Daniel Bryan, I think it looks good, but again with him, I think the scale is too big. I think he's too tall, even compared to the Jazzwares figures, which do typically run like a little bit bigger. I think that Daniel Bryan is just too big. The head scans look great. I think the shape of the figure looks nice. It's just the scale is really what gets me. So I have customs of everyone in Mattel form. That's just what I happen to do all my customs in, and as probably will for the time being. So I'll just start with my Daniel Bryan because this is the simplest one I have. It's one of his old Elite figures, but I did put the Austin torso on him to give him that bigger look. And you know, the head scan's not accurate to what he has looked like in AEW. He does have longer hair now, but I just thought that this was the best head scan, so it works for me for now. I did plan to get that Daniel Bryan, but then it's so big that it kind of changed my mind. So I like the Daniel Bryan for what it is. It works in my collection, but the real gems of the Combat Club are the next four that you guys are going to see. Next up here is my custom Claudio Castagnoli, and this is based on his, I want to say it was his debut against Zack Sabre Jr. I did go with a little bit different formula for him than just what we have gotten. So I did purchase his Elite figure, that last Elite figure we got of him before he went to AEW. I think the figure's great, but I had some issues with it. So the crotch piece was bigger than the torso because they used that Hogan crotch piece, and then the legs were really big, the boots were really big, and the arms were ginormous. So I think they tried to make his formula better, and I don't think they necessarily did. So what I did was use some, I can't remember whose legs they are. They're just some plain black legs. If it comes to me, I'll let you guys know at some point in the video, but for the boots, I did not use the boots that came with him. I used some normal kick pads and painted the design on them. So you can see there's the gold on them. I painted the soles white. I painted the gold all the way around. The decals are, the red is all decals. Those are all from Curbstomp. I did use the torso he came with, but I gave him the smaller double-jointed arms. And then the knee pads are actually from an old Jax figure, one of those Jax Deluxe figures. And Claudio kind of wore these, he has like knee sleeves more than the knee pads. So I thought that these worked really well. I painted the gold on the top and the bottom, and I personally love this formula. Obviously, we're not going to get any more Claudio figures, at least anytime in the near future. So I wanted to have him. He's a big guy, but I also think that they kind of make him a little too big. And the formula I use, I think, is a good height. You'll see at the end all of them together, but this is the Claudio in my collection, and I think we're getting him, but still like quite a ways off. So I wanted him in my collection sooner than later. Next up is my custom Moxley, and I want to say this head scan is from the second Unrivaled figure that we got of him. I don't remember. We have so many Moxleys, and I cannot remember the sets well, especially as many repeats as we get. They all just kind of blend together for me. But I did want him in his cargo pants look, and admittedly, I like the look of his AEW pants more, the Jazz wears pants, but they're just so tall. And I tried to like mess around with parts, but the calves on those, like the lower legs, are just so big that I couldn't really find anything that I was real happy with. So I did just go with the shield parts. I'll take the jacket off at the end of the video. He's got the Austin torso. The double jointed arms might be from one of the Legends Edge figures, I want to say. And then again, some decals from Curbstomp. And I don't remember, I want to say this match was against CM Punk, this pants design, but I don't remember exactly. It wasn't anything crazy. I just thought that this set of decals would look the best on the formula I use, so that's what I went with. Next up is Wheeler Yuta, and this is probably my favorite custom of the group. I really like the Claudio figure. I do like Claudio more in general, but I really, really like how this Wheeler Yuta came out, and it's a different formula than what we normally get with figures, and he's had a few looks. So what I did was go with the this long pants look. And I think this was before, he might have worn this in his match against Moxley, like before he was in the Combat Club. But he wore long tights and just didn't wear like boots or anything. He just wore some Nikes. And I gave him some John Cena shoes. I acetoned off the design that was on them. And then he's on Montez Ford legs. And I think it makes him a tiny bit too tall, but I didn't have a lot of options, especially because the legs are pinless. But it's not a backbreaker for me. The head is from Heteration, I'm pretty sure, and I think it's a great scan. I think the likeness is really good. You can see here we've got the decals. Actually, so this is all decals. This is all decals. About right here is where they stopped, and the design goes all the way down. So the bottoms here are painted, but I think I blended the colors well enough and painted straight enough that you can't really tell. And then kind of same thing on the back here. Decals to about the knees, and then most of this right here is paint that I matched just to make that design go all the way down and be real accurate. But this is probably one of my favorite customs I've done. Since starting the channel, it was a little challenging. The decals are pretty long, and they're symmetric on each side, so I don't want to mess them up. Got to go over the knees, got to get that cut right so that it's not destroying the decal, and I like how this one came out. It was a lot of fun to do, and then trying to match the paint and get those lines at the end, just kind of gave this custom a mix of everything. And I had a lot of fun with this Wheeler Yuta. And I am excited for his Jazzwares figure. His body size, I don't know if they're going to use like the Hook or Darby torso. I don't know. I'll be interested, but I like the formula I have in Mattel, and I am more confident in him than some other figures that his Jazzwares figures can look pretty tight. And hopefully we get that ROH Fury title with him as well. Last but not least, you cannot have the Blackpool Combat Club without the man from Blackpool himself, William Regal. The head scan, I'm going to say, so I'll show you guys up close a little bit. The head scan is from Haus 14. It is a beautiful head scan. It's done really well. Mine was a misprint though, and you can see like the misprints on it are pretty noticeable. There's just like some holes in the scan and just like some kind of cracks in the mold itself. But I just thought, what the heck? I'm not sending this out for a commission, and really, like, just from a distance, it's not the worst. On my shelf, it's fine. I'm sure I will upgrade the head scan eventually. I do have some stuff ordered from him already, so I'll probably just have another Regal head scan thrown in there. But overall, I think the head scan's done really well. It was fun to put this figure together, because Regal he wears a suit, but he does have a little bit different look. He wears that vest underneath. So what I did was piece some Build-A-Figure parts I have, and then I took the vest from the like General Manager Constable Corbin figure, I had an extra, I think. So I took his vest off, and it's a little bit big, but luckily Regal wears his jacket open, so it worked out. The torso underneath is a Build-A-Figure Jimmy Hart torso, and I had a couple from the like Royal Rumble set or whatever, and I already have the Hall of Champions Jimmy Hart in my collection. So I took the tie off of there, just left it black, and I don't know if you can tell, there's like some glue residue. It's not perfect under there by any means, but then the vest and the arms were just some Build-A-Figure arms and vest and jacket, and I can't remember like what. I just have a bunch of the Build-A-Figure arms. Probably from the like WrestleMania wave with Paul Ellering, and then the legs are from one of the recent WrestleMania. Oh, from the Rock figure that came with the Mean Gene legs. So I'm probably not going to complete that. Build-A-Figure. I have Mean Gene in my collection. I have his. And was it a Walmart exclusive figure that has like the tan pants and the navy blue jacket? I love that Mean Gene, so I don't really plan to build that Build-A-Figure unless I just stumble across it really cheap, probably on Black Friday next year. But that's how I built my William Regal, and I love it. I think it goes perfectly with my Blackpool Combat Club. I think he is a little on the short side, but you kind of get that with the Build-A-Figures, and the only other legs I had were like the Kane Build-A-Figure legs, so he was either going to be giant or he was going to be a little bit on the short side, so I just aired on the short side, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to get all of them up here, and we're going to wrap things up, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the giveaway that ends this week. Alright, there we have it. There's my Blackpool Combat Club in their entirety, and you can see scale-wise, like it isn't spot on. I think Yuta's a little tall, Claudio is a little on the short side. If I had a different head on there, it would be better. The head sits a little low on this torso, but yeah, it's not the end of the world for me. I think he's a little bit taller than Moxley. Maybe I could switch out the neck peg, and then I don't remember Regal's height, but it's not the worst. But just how they look as customs, I'm really happy with them, and I'm sure I'm either going to get the Daniel Bryan or I'm going to update, make a new custom with him. I haven't quite decided yet. But I did want to talk about the giveaway. So the giveaway is going to end this Friday. So Friday's going to be the cutoff for me taking people's names to put in the drawing for the Edge figure. And then remember, there were some Roderick Strong decals, there are some Adam Cole decals, and there are Wheeler Yuta decals that are actually the same ones that are on my figure. As well as a Hook head scan, a Nick Gage head scan, and I want to say Brian Pillman head scan, that are all from Haus 14. And to enter, you have to send me a screenshot that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and that you are following me on Instagram. And if you message those to me on Instagram, which I've had quite a few people do, I will put your name down, and then I will put that giveaway video on Instagram, probably this following weekend or maybe the next week. And I'll have that shipped out. I don't have the stuff on screen because it is packaged up, ready to go already. Oh, I think I said that there's an Edge custom. I don't know if I forgot to say that. So go ahead, do that. Give me your information. I will get you entered in the giveaway, and I'm really excited to do that. And I think I mentioned that I want to do another giveaway at 500 subscribers. And as of recording, we are just a few subscribers shy of 400. So keep it coming. I love it. I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. I always say that. And of course, I always appreciate that as well. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy figures. Figure Dude out.